Well, in terms of debut Premier League seasons, you probably can't ask for much more than this. We are 1 point away from the magic number with a number of games to go. And the only worry now is what happens on deadline day. There's potentially going to be a few outs because we've got plenty of contractual situations. But on the ins, we've done a bit of sensible business this month. It's all for the future. And for now, it should be quiet. Yes, hello and welcome along to part 22 of Built in Bristol with me, Daniel. As you can see, as we head towards a tough run of games in the Premier League, we have virtually secured our survival already. Our form against the bottom half teams has been remarkable and we've taken advantage of a friendlier run of fixtures. We're also still in the FA Cup with Championship opposition to come, so hopefully we can focus on that as the season goes along. And if we do manage to get any closer to Europe this year, with us currently 4 points away, I will call this tactic the most overpowered in FM history. But if you're looking forward first to seeing what happens on deadline day before we face Norwich in a Premier League fixture, then please do put a thumbs up on the video. Despite all of the optimism on the pitch, we have still got plenty of concern off it. If we go through to the squad screen now, we are still in the presence of Cameron Pring, who is determined to leave on a free this summer. The same applies to Alex Scott, who wants to leave for a bigger club, but also very tactically got injured throughout the January window, so no one could make an offer for him. It looks like we're going to lose both of those boys for nothing in the summer, which is a real kick in the teeth. We have got additions though, we're going to talk about them in a minute, and of course reflect on some brilliant form. But before all of that, let's get through to the messages because transfer deadline day is here and in the nation, it is expected to be a pretty busy one. We have been linked with a Wolfsburg defender. Norwich, our opponents tomorrow, have been linked with Sam Surridge, but I don't think that deal's going to be happening. Deadline day is here. Big money suggested for a few players. We'll see if it comes about. There are a few we would like to get out of the club ideally, the likes of Connor Coventry on loan, which you saw a link with there. But let's go and talk about all of the stuff that's been happening on and off the pitch. And if we start with transfers, it's been a really interesting month because we've been sort of changing our tacts as we've got a higher points total. I've started looking to the future rather than the immediate. So we tried to sign Martin Fernandez from Porto, who popped up in a scout report at 18. He picked a bigger club, and there's been 3 or 4 like that, but they've chosen to go to elite European super clubs. But we have managed to get 2 in, and one of them, you'll notice, is a familiar name and has turned out to be a masterful bit of business because you may remember back on deadline day in August, we picked Miramon over another midfielder for whom we terminated the chance to sign for 10.5 million. Now that decision seems to be a pretty good one because Karim Damani has joined from Feyenoord in January for 2.8 million. So we've knocked about 70% off the fee just like that. We've also got him for a fairly similar wage, so we've not lost much on that front. He's 2.5-star ability, he's got enormous potential, and for the rest of this season, hopefully, he can get some sub appearances, he can train well and adapt to the nation, and he'll be raring to go next season for what should be a very good year. The other one that came in for half that amount was Drew Warburton from Colchester. Now, he's 1.5 million, and he is an exceptional regen. He was wanted by a number of clubs. Colchester relegated to the National League in this save. So we got him in for fairly big money for a non-league player. But another one with huge potential, with 2.5-star ability at 17. But we agreed to loan him back to Colchester and give him appearances next year. And that's what got the deal over the line. He is going to have to adapt to become a wing-back or a centre-half for us. But he's got proper talent and is a signing I'm very excited about. In terms of the outs, there's been a lot of our players that we loaned out in the summer who I didn't realise returned in January rather than at the end of the year. A couple of them we've got back out. Ayman Benarous is probably the biggest one. He's gone to Sheffield Wednesday after his spell at Charlton. I made the mistake of not even realising and making Louis Sibley available for a Papa John's trophy game in the under-23s. And now he's classed of having played for 2 clubs this year. So that's a bit of a dilemma. Drew Warburton, as you know, has gone back to Colchester. And I think a couple will go out on loan today, because we've got a bigger squad than we probably need. And if we can save some wages whilst getting people development, then we've got to try and do it. In terms of the transfers, though, very happy with the 2 we have got in for the future. Not that we'll ever see them fully develop now in this save, but if you choose to take it on afterwards, you're going to have plenty of fun with them. Let's go over to the schedule though, because our form, particularly the last 3 weeks, has been remarkable. You were with me as we lost to Chelsea and then got that fabulous win against Manchester City. And that seems to have been a springboard to a run of pretty good results. And if you look at the games, bar the top 7 or 8 teams when we've played them, we've generally picked up wins. And that has been a pretty remarkable feat. However, we know this tactic is incredible. We won 3-0 away at Leicester thanks to Andre Almeida, Sam Surridge and a late Troy Parrott goal. Parrott ending his goal drought on that occasion. We did unfortunately lose 1-0 at home to Spurs the game after, with Kulusevski putting us to the sword. We drew 1-1 at Norwich with a Meslier own goal after we'd fallen behind despite a dominant display. We'll be hoping for revenge in this fixture. A really good 2-0 win at Fulham thanks to Sam Surridge getting a brace, who has popped up with a few goals in recent weeks, as you can see. A disappointing 0-0 draw against Everton on Boxing Day. They just changed manager. They were bottom of the league. I think they're pretty much still down there. They are 19th at the moment and they've got Mick Beale in charge. There's an interesting one for you. A 3-0 win against Burnley made up for it though. A late red card, but not until Troy Parrott had got a brace and Mika Biereth had scored one. The start of January, not quite so fruitful in front of goal. A 0-0 draw at home to Newcastle. A 1-0 defeat at Manchester United. 92nd minute, we nearly held on for one in a very defensive display. A bit of a rotated side against Rotherham in the cup, but Surridge and Parrott, 2 good strikers, getting the goals. Max O'Leary had a really good game there. A 5-0 win against Fulham with a Surridge hat-trick, Bula and Williams. They've had a shocking year of Fulham. A 2-1 win against West Ham, Troy Parrott's late winner after Almeida had scored the opener. And a brace from Sam Surridge in the first 12 minutes gave us a 2-1 win away at Southampton. So as you sort of saw on the opening day against the Saints, as you saw against City, we have got great performances in us and we've been fairly consistent. The only spells in which we've really struggled are when we've played 2 or 3 top sides back to back, or when our strikers have gone on a goal drought. And at the moment, touch wood, they're all improving in training, they're all doing really well. And this young core of a squad is becoming superb. So delighted on the pitch, pretty happy off it. The only frustrations really are what I would call the unrealistic situations, particularly with Cameron Pring, but also with Alex Scott. So no offers for him or window, which is bizarre. He did get one end of contract offer from Marseille, I think it was, someone in the French league, but he rejected that and said he had no interest. So we'll wait and see what he does in the summer. But if we do get an offer of 15-20 million today and we can work a sell on in, then he'll be off, I'm afraid, a bit like Masengo. In terms of the squad today, we're very heavy in midfield and at centre-half, so I will loan people out if the option comes along. I can see Connor Coventry is wanted there, so I'll offer him the chance to go out. Be good for him to get a year of football elsewhere. Cal Naismith is wanted by Hibs at the end of his contract. I mean, I could offer him out for free now. He's barely featured this year. Let's offer him as a free agent and see if anyone will take the 20k a week off the wages. But otherwise, I'm fairly happy with where we are. The young players are improving. The other ones are contributing well. I mean, we couldn't ask for much more. So let's go and head through deadline day and see if there's any news before the window shuts. Well, no response to the loan offer for Connor Coventry because the wage demands apparently were too high, but I've reduced them now and we'll see if anyone comes in. Loads of offers though for Cal Naismith, predominantly from the MLS and one from Hibs. Not sure how they'll tempt him wage-wise because they've not asked for us to contribute, but any of those would be great. 20k a week off the wage bill and a player who will get a chance to play football. Well, first confirmed news of the day as we try and get rid of other players off the books, so you've probably forgotten we're here anyway. Cal Naismith has picked Hibs over all of the MLS clubs. I'm going to accept it. It's a great deal for us to get 20k off the wage bill, but I want to know what wage cut he's taken. I cannot wait to find out what he's on. Cal Naismith has gone and he is on £9,000 a week at Hibs. Not a bad wage in fairness and not a bad deal for us. Williams now unhappy that he's left the club. I think you'll find he'll be fine. What are you on about, Joe Williams? Seriously. This is not about you. What is wrong with him? Joe Williams at 28. I mean, he's barely featured this year because he's been injured so much. Maybe he's the next one that goes. Joe Williams, shall I offer him out? Do not question my authority. We do not want to get this dressing room back to where it was. And considering how well we're doing, we've had so many problems in this save. I'm going to get rid of him, I think. Joe Williams, off you go. I'm going to offer him to clubs as well. I know he's a very popular man here. He's made a few appearances, but we'll offer him to clubs. We'll transfer list him. We'll see who he goes to. No offers for him. Seems like people might think he's a problem. We can't get rid of Knockhart either. It looks like we're going to have a few in the squad that in an ideal world we'd have got rid of. I mean, we might as well register Knockhart because we might as well have him in the squad as an option, but I don't think he'll make an appearance for us. If that's it, we shouldn't have any news before the day. No interest by the looks in Alex Scott. Most probably just waiting to sign him for free. And Cameron Pring in the same boat. Looks like a very quiet deadline day. But still, in the circumstances, just a little frustration for me there. Well, what a boring day that turned out to be. Yes, I guess the positive is that we got 20k a week off the wage bill. And of course, over the window, we've got in 2 good young players for the future. But I guess our priorities changed a little bit based on where we were, because now we're basically secured and there's not any extreme world-class talent available to us. It is about developing the players we've got and letting them get better. You can see from the wage bill list here, we've got half the wage bill of Burnley, who are the next closest to the bottom. I mean, it's an incredible effort what we're doing. And yes, second season syndrome may well hit us like a brick if these boys don't keep improving too. But I am really happy with the squad we've got for the season. I'm not thrilled about the situation that both Pring and of course Alex Scott are going to be in. But we'll have to address those in the summer. And if we lose the money, yes, it's probably 30 million we would have got for the 2 of them or thereabouts. But if you look at the positives for the future, staying in the Premier League is worth a lot more than that. And those 2 have more than contributed to it. Now we've got to go ahead and play Norwich, which is a big game for us because if we win it or even draw it, we reach the magic 40 points. We're not going to go down anyway. But I tell you what, I know we've got a hard run of fixtures coming up. Europe is not far away. And my word, that would be ridiculous. Well, it's fitness test time as we return to face Norwich with Alex Scott and James Bree both not quite making it, but Reece Williams should be fine. I should mention as well, Sam Surridge just won January Player of the Month for the Premier League. Not a bad effort at all. And we did have our youth intake preview between the last 2 episodes, which I must be honest with you, is not looking particularly good. We might have a half-decent keeper or striker, but no one who's going to make it. And I guess at this stage of the save, probably doesn't matter for us now. But either way, we are back to face Norwich, and it is a real opportunity to get to the 40-point mark. Let's go and see the team we can put out for this one. And to be honest, one of the beauties of our season is we haven't had to change our team that much. Okay, we've had Bree out a few weeks, Alex Scott out a few weeks as well. But generally speaking, we know what we're going to get to pick each time. So we're just going to bring back a few of the under-21s who featured in the EFL trophy last week rather than playing. And that will get us back to full strength, I believe. But otherwise, I don't think there's much to decide. Damane is going to probably pip Coventry to a place on the bench. And I think the starting lineup will probably stay the same. We're finally starting to get improvement out of Geld, but it's not consistent enough. Montero is becoming a monster. He's now officially a wonder kid. So they're going to stay the same at the back. Our team for today is Baxter in goal. Bajcetic, Williams and Montero the back 3. Bulat, the new club captain, ahead of them. He now wants to leave the club with Tanner and Pring at wing back. Miramont and Almeida at the midfield 2. Surridge and Bieref the front 2. Troy Parrott, a super sub if we need him. And the goals are starting to flow. As you can see, Surridge with 12 for the season is picking up fast. I think we've got a week off after this one, and it is an FA Cup tie, so that heavy match load will get relaxed. But let's go and face Norwich for one more big push and see if we can reach the 40-point mark. Well, here we go with a Norwich side that we know have got Ilyan Meslier because he scored the own goal against us last time, but also Stefan Savic, the former City man, Cole Palmer, another former City man, and then David Brooks and Ryan Christie, the former Bournemouth men, are both in the team as well. So it looks like they've raided certain clubs during this save. They've got Nathan Phillips, Jed Spence, lots of familiar names, and Jayden Bogle on the bench too, who we tried to sign in the summer, but wanted a bit too much on the wage front. Let's go and tell the lads to impress us and head into the first half. It is Bristol City v Norwich at Ashton Gate. The crowds are picking up, the performances have been good. Now let's hope we can carry on our run of 4 straight wins. Of course, I've closed the game and turned it back on again to do this video, so we know that the poor run will probably begin now. Let's go and find out if it does. As Norwich have got the ball in the left-back area. Gibbs getting it inside to McCallum. Chance to carry it forward, and to be fair, They look pretty good on the ball there as Savic gets it to McCallum again. Trying to move it forward quickly, but Bajcetic heads it away. Poorly to Christie, puts David Brooks in. Oh, why close the game on a winning streak? Never do it, folks. Never do it. It's the superstition. Bajcetic made a mistake. We're 1 down after 7 minutes, and unfortunately, this is probably the start of a bad run. We've also got to bear in mind that, as well as losing Naismith, we've now got Joe Williams unhappy. Scott moaned about not going on deadline day, even though there were no interest in him. So we've got those little things to contest with too. And at the moment, every header from one of our back three is going straight to a Norwich midfielder. As McCallum chips it down the left, Bajcetic deals with it. Plays it to George Tanner and now Miramon. Big ball over the top for Bieref to chase, and he's got space to run into. It's a heavy touch, which he gets away with. Back to Sam Surridge, who really just lashes at it from 30 yards. Had plenty of time, plenty of space, but just hastily just went for the shot there, and it stays 1-0 down. As Reece Williams up at the back post from a corner. Oh, I don't know if Bajcetic is onside. It would be redemption if it is, because he made the mistake for the first goal, and it would be lovely if he nicked one. It's awarded. It's 1-1. Bristol City back on terms, and Bajcetic has made big amends for his mistake. Miramon, I'm afraid, has picked up a bruised ankle. I'll get him to half-time and then we'll make the sub. But we're back on terms. We're doing all right. And look at the match momentum. We're dominating these types of games. We're through to half-time. The dressing room is pretty positive. I'm going to say I'm not too happy, though. We'll take Miramon off. We'll put Almeida box to box. And Joby Bellingham is on as the centre mid on attack. He is starting to improve, and at only 19, maybe he can reach his brother's potential, who knows. Let's go and get into the second half. We'll give it 15 more before making changes. We're just over an hour on the clock, and to be honest, it's the normal problem now, which is fatigue in these sorts of weeks. James Bree is going to get a run out at right wing back for Tanner. On the left, we'll do the same, but it will be Pring replaced by Norrington Davis. Geld is going to come on for Montero, who's struggling. And then the final one is Surridge. I mean, I'm loath to take him off because he's the top goal scorer. He's flying at the minute. But he's not fit and he's had injuries before. So Bieref switches sides. Troy Parrott goes through the middle. And hopefully he can be the super sub again. There's not been any shots according to the stats in this half. So I'm not sure the fans will have enjoyed this 23 minutes. As Aaron's on the right. Cross is deflected. Almeida brings it away to Bieref. Releases Parrott, who's 1-on-1. Normally reliable from here. Troy Parrott in, has hit the post. Oh, that's unfortunate. Did everything right. And then rattles the woodwork. It should have been the goal. Probably the best chance of the match. And it stays 1-1, but we should be leading now as Bellingham's looking to make the run with Norrington Davis on the ball. Back to Geld and Bulat. Into Almeida, another chance to open them up as he puts in Parrott. He's 1-on-1 and he makes no mistake this time. Troy Parrott, the super sub again, is sick for the season. And I tell you what, was it 4 million? Looking like a bargain now. Almeida, I've got to say, didn't start a lot the first half of the year. He's really coming into his own with the Alex Scott injury. But hang on a minute, we're under pressure. And Baxter to make the save. But definitely, this tactic is working a treat. The players in it. The signings have been magnificent, and the fact that we've signed younger players who continue to improve is only going to help us as Bieref finds Bellingham, pipped by Cook, and it's away from Souza. Don't rule out Norwich yet because we are tired back there. Bajcetic drops off, it's a penalty. You could tell it the moment the ball went through. James Bree penalised, these are always given. And it's going to be a penalty kick for Norwich. 2-1 down, but they're going to have a chance. Nathan Baxter will need to be a hero. Graham Scott VAR going to be awarded. There you go. Let's see if Baxter can pull it off. There's James Bree not quite fit for this one. Left-footed, Ryan Christie against Baxter. Oh, I thought he'd got there. Right in the corner with a pen. The keeper went the right way. But you've got to say that's unsavable. It was right in the side netting and he couldn't quite stretch far enough. Let's encourage the lads as we go back to 2-2. And hopefully we've got one more push in us. But there are so many tired players there. I don't think it's possible. 2-2's not a bad result. It keeps the unbeaten run going. I would have liked to have nicked the win, of course, and the stats suggest we should have. But in the end, oh, we've got a free kick, 94th minute. Bulat into Bajcetic. Bieref's there, just over the bar. Would have been lovely to nick it, but let's be honest here. We've reached 40 points today. We have completed the objective. and we make it 5 games unbeaten, which is an incredible run. I'm so happy with this group of players. They're giving me everything. They're improving. We're going to make a huge profit on a lot of them, which will make up for Scott and Pring going for nothing. Can we create one more chance? I doubt it. We look happy on the ball. But 40 points is achieved, and it looks like we are going to be safe and in the Premier League next season. There's one more free kick one. Zolis will get booked, and it should just be pumped into the box. We'll see if we can nick it. Very last ditch. We'll be on the 5 minutes. He didn't book Zolis either. He really has bottled that one. Bajetic. Why is he wasting time? I've got never time waste. Why would you time waste at 2-2 here? What are you doing, Stefan? Have some ambition. It goes the whistle as soon as he takes it. But 2-2, we are safe. We've reached 40 points. Do you know what? That's a good effort. Forget the fact we gave away a controversial late penalty. That is a very good effort for the season. 11 games to go. We are safe on 40. And I can't be anything but pleased with that performance. We should have won it, but it is what it is. Let's go and have a look at the schedule. 11 games remaining. I guess when we come back, probably depends on the FA Cup run. If we get through Preston and get a big game, we'll show that. Because ultimately, that's the big thing we've got left to play for this season. Don't really want there to be more than 2 more episodes, so we'll try and leave the cup run as long as possible. If you're looking forward to that, we're safe for the season. Let me know what you thought of deadline day in the comments. And should we go on an FA Cup run now? Fingers crossed you'll be here to see it with me. If you want to stay up to date and find out how it goes, and you did enjoy this episode with a strange deadline day, but also the magic point to take us to 40, and please do put a thumbs up on the video. Subscribe down below and turn that notification bell on to make sure you don't miss a thing. It's going to be a wonderful end to the week with big action from the Build a Nation save tomorrow. And if you are a Championship fan or a Bristol City fan, you can find our score predictions from the podcast channel for this weekend up in the eye above from 4 o'clock. A massive thank you for your support as always. It is greatly appreciated. Links to Twitch, the top 3s and all that stuff up there as well. Everything else in the socials down below, as well as the link to pre-order FM24 and help support the channel too. But thank you very much for watching and being here as always. And I'll see you back here next time. More big action, hopefully from an FA Cup run.